Hey guys, Rebel here again with another little tutorial. This time on Chamber 3 skip. Had a few people asking me like, what I do, what I look for whenever I'm doing a Chamber 3 skip. Because the last video worked out quite well for people. The one about the invisible strat had End of the World. So some few people came to me asking me if I would do one for Chamber 3 skip because I've been having a little bit of trouble with it. So like I did with the invisible strat, first I'll just show me doing the strat, and then afterwards I'll kind of dissect it a little bit and talk about like what I do, when I do it, how I do it, all of that. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's wind it back a bit here. Now, I went through and showed you how to do it. So, the first thing you want to do is, as you're coming out of the cutscene here, what I do, you don't have to do this exactly the way I do it. This is just personal preference the way I do it. As the screen is black there, and it's fading in, I am holding directly left on both the left analog stick and the right analog stick to turn the camera and to be moving towards the loading zone over here to the left where you have to go. To note, if you take the time to invert your camera at the beginning of the game, instead of holding left on the right analog stick, you would hold right. So yeah, I hold left until I get to this point, and you'll see I line my camera up directly. This is just to ensure the camera angle in the next room as you are falling down will be the exact same every single time. And so now, one thing I do is, as I go through the loading zone, once the screen is black, I hold left and slightly up. It'll probably take a little bit of getting used to. It took me quite a while to get used to it as well, but I mean, that's what practice is. It's just trial and error until you find out that exact angle. So, I go through the loading zone, and then right here, I'm not mashing out attack. I wait until I see Sora fall a little bit, and then I attack. So, let's go back a little bit. So again, don't mash it out. Wait until you see Sora fall a little bit. And then once you land up here, hopefully you don't bonk. I'm sure there's probably a way you could do it if you bonk, but I have never been able to do it, so I personally don't know the setup. I can't help you there. Maybe someone else can. So now what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to push up on the left analog stick, directly up. And just take a little bit of a step forward. You don't want to take too little of a step, because then whenever you jump, you're going to either just walk off or you're going to hit your head on the top of the hole here. But you also don't want to take too much of a step, because you can also do the exact same. So again, it's just trial and error and practice until you figure out that the sweet spot, pretty much, of how much you want to hold forward here. Hopefully this video will help you kind of figure that part out a little bit easier, seeing how much of a step forward I take. So I guess it's just a very little bit of a step, not too much, not too little. And then from here, I jump and just hold towards the ledge. And that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to it. There's not a whole lot to Chamber 3 Skip. It is one of those things that, there's no special, like, yeah, if you do this every single time, it's easy and it's free. At least not starting out. It's gonna take some time and practice to get used to it, but once you get it a few times in a row, then you kind of get it in your muscle memory of like what you need to do. It just becomes a trick that isn't very difficult to do, and you'll find yourself getting it in most runs. So yeah, hopefully this video helped. There wasn't a whole lot of in-depth analysis or anything like that because there's not a whole lot to this trick. Again, it's just make sure your camera angle is lined up directly with this with the loading zone here as you go through it. Don't mash out your attack. Take a step forward and then jump and hold towards the ledge here, and that's it. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and yeah, y'all have a good one.